to open this bit over here to let out the powder. Whoa, that flew everywhere. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a full face of Huda Beauty, which is something that I've wanted to do for such a long time now, and I've just been waiting for her to release her Overachiever concealer for me to now go out and do this full face of Huda Beauty. So if you guys like what you see, then please carry on watching, and I hope you enjoy this video. So I'm just going to start off by taking my Farsali Skin Tune Blur, and I'm just going to apply that to my face. I haven't really bought like a Huda Beauty primer. Yeah, I haven't really bought a Huda Beauty primer, so I'm just gonna do with what I have at the moment. So next I'm going to take the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation in the shade Latte. I haven't used this as yet, hence why like it's not opened. So I'm going to do this on camera. I've heard so much about this product. I mean, I've heard that it's like giving you the full like Instagram look, and if you guys know, and if you guys have watched my channel so far, like you know I don't like the whole like full-on glam. I like to go for like subtle glam. Why is this not opening? And I'm just going to take this out of the packaging, and it comes like this. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this before, and it's like a plastic packaging, so if you guys are clumsy like sometimes like I am, if you drop this it won't break. So I kind of like it. I'm kind of okay with it. Like I don't mind it not being glass. So I'm going to take a few pumps of this on the back of my hand. So I'm taking that much for now because I can always go back and build it up, and I feel like this is going to be too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the Farsali Unicorn Essence. I'm going to mix this in with the foundation, so just a few drops. I'm going to take this brush, the Hourglass Buffer brush, and I'm just going to mix this together. I kind of knew that this was going to be a full coverage foundation, so that's why like you can always go in and like mix your primer with the foundation just to kind of like water it down a bit. So because this is a little bit lighter than I was expecting it to be, just going to blend this down to my neck, because you really don't want your face and your neck to be like two different colors. I'd say like this foundation is not very matte. I do like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much when I first ever tried it out. It was very like full on, and that's why like I tried to mix this in with one of my primers. So mixing it with a primer I think has done a much better job than it would have like without, because when you put it on without, for me personally it's like very thick. Unless you have like acne scarring or something, then I'd say you probably could get away with it, but personally speaking, like I don't think that I needed that much coverage, so I did go ahead and kind of water it down. Okay, so now my foundation is done. I'm going to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to be taking the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette, and it looks like this for those of you who are not sure what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to start off by taking my favorite brush, which is the 4-in-1 Eye Transforming Liner and Shadow Brush, and it looks like this. And if you guys have been watching, then you guys should know that I love this brush and I use this all the time. So I'm going to start off by taking the shade Sandalwood, which is this shade right here. So I'm going to move my brush to the all over one, so it's the nice like loose bristles, and I'm just going to dust this all over my eye. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to move my brush to the crease brush on here, and I'm going to take the shade Henna, which is this orangey browny shade here, and I'm going to dip my brush in that and just apply that to my crease. Okay, so I've applied sandalwood on my eyelids, and I've taken henna and I've applied that in the crease, and I've just kind of blended it outwards for like a little accentuated flick. Now I'm going to take the shade, I actually feel like I want to go a little bit experimental with my eyes today, so I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Doll Face, and I'm going to apply that on my outer V. Actually, we're going to do, so today I actually feel like I want to create a halo eye, so I'm going to take the shade Doll Face and I'm going to bring this in to my inner corners as well, and I'm just going to blend this in to create the halo eye. So if you guys haven't created a halo eye before, what I like to do, like I'm quite new to this myself, so what I like to do is I like to obviously do what I did. So I would take Sandalwood, which is this very light browny shade here, as my transition shade, and I would apply that all over my eyelid, and then I would take the shade Henna, which I did, and I'll like blend it in on my outer V and my inner corners here, blend it out towards the center of my eye, and I would bring it upwards in my crease, so it would give me like that halo effect. But I would keep this area, so my eyelid kind of like with nothing on there, so I'll just keep that bare, so that way to create that kind of pop in between, which will give me that halo eye effect. So I'm actually going to go in the shade Henna again, and I'm going to apply that in my inner corners and blend that towards my lid, center of my lid. You want to make sure that you're getting that gradient effect, so always go in with like a lighter shade, then build the shade up, because that way it gives you like a really nice finish. So I've taken Doll Face, and I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. Bring it into my inner corners, in my crease, and outer V. Okay, so now that's done, I'm going to dip my shade into the shade Risicue, which is this nice like bright pink purpley shade here. So I'm going to transform my brush into the smudger brush. So I've just pushed that all the way down, and now it's in the smudger side. And I'm going to dip it into Risicue and pack this product onto like my outer V as much as I can. So it's gonna pack on as much as I can. So what I like to do is I like to pack on as much product as I can and then blend it out to give me a better colour payoff. I love this colour, it's so nice. It's nice and like pink, like a full true kind of deep fuchsia pink kind of shade. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transform my brush back into the crease brush, and I'm going to blend this all out into my crease and my outer V, and I'm just going to flick it outwards, blend it in nicely. It's okay if your eyes look crazy right now, because you can always go back and change that with some concealer. Like with me, I'm really like, right now I'm just focusing on the eye, so I'm not really bothered about like how crazy it's looking right now, because you're always going to go back in and you're going to touch it up just to fix it up a little bit and just to like smoothen it out and kind of like make it look a little bit better. So you can always go back and like fix that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transform my brush into the all overs brush, so which is the nice kind of full brush, and it's more softer, so I can blend everything out. I'm going to take the shade Sandalwood and I'm going to blend everything out nicely into my crease. Okay, I'm going to go in again with Doll Face, and I'm just going to make it a little bit more deeper because I want this to be a little bit more dramatic than it is. And now I'm going to take my all over brush and blend this all out. Okay, so now for my favorite bit is the pop shade in the middle. So this is going to make your eye look more alive. So right now it's looking very dead and it's looking a little bit scary, but I'm going to take the shade Rose Gold, which is this shade over here, and I'm just going to use my fingers to apply this because I feel like it gives a better color payoff. I'm going to apply this just in the center. Wow, like I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is so pigmented. It looks really nice. Now when you're doing this, you don't want to you really don't want to take this out too much. You just want to make sure it's focused in the middle, just so it's giving you that nice pop of color. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Really guys, you don't really have to work too hard with this palette. Like, it does it all for you. It blends out really nicely and you're not really doing a lot of work, to be honest. Okay, I'm also going to take the shade Pink Diamond, which is this shade, right here. And I'm going to apply that on top of this just a little bit. Now, I am really happy with what it looks right now, so I'm just going to go in with my brush again and just quickly blend everything out one more time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade Bubbly, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to take my Zoeva pencil brush. I'm just going to apply this in my inner corners, just for an inner corner highlight. I'm going to apply this on just on my brow bone. Okay, so now I'm just going to line my eyes. I haven't got a liner from the Huda Beauty line, and I don't think she's released one as yet because I would have known. So I'm going to take my tattoo liner from Kat Von D, and I'm just going to line my eyes with this. So I have applied my eyeliner and I'm happy with the way it looks. I did go a little bit crazy, so I had to thicken it up a little bit, but I still like the way it looks. I did want to keep it a bit thin, but like I said, I am happy with the final result. I'm going to now take my lashes in Farah, and I haven't used these lashes before. Like, I haven't used this specific style before, so I'm going to try these on for the first time. I love how it feels when you like pull off like a fresh new like eyeshadow, how you pull off like a fresh new lash. Okay, I'm actually pretty used to using Samantha lashes, so this is like something quite new for me. These are like a little bit more full on. Okay, so one is on after so much fighting, and I'm going to put on the next one. So the lashes are on and they're very full on. So what I'm going to do is, like, there's some lines, and like I'm just going to take my tattoo liner by Kat Von D and just line my eye again, because I feel like the lashes have kind of changed the shape of my eye, and I want to kind of hide the band. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my eyes with the MAC Kohl eyeliner in the shade Teddy, and I'm just going to line my waterline. So Teddy is like a brown shade. I didn't want to go with black because I would have felt like that was a little bit too, that would have been a little bit too overpowering. Okay guys, so now for my favorite bit. So next I'm going to take the Overachiever concealer by Huda Beauty, and this is the most talked about product at the moment. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to conceal my eyes with this. This is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already seen this. So if you guys remember, I did say if your eyes are looking like a hot mess, you can always go back and correct it with some concealer. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to take this concealer, and the shade that I'm using today is Sugar Biscuit on myself, and I'm just going to take this. This is what it looks like. It's got like a metal kind of applicator, and I think this is to like cool and depuff the under eyes. So you don't need a lot of this, so I'm just going to take some out like a little bit now, because I can always go back and change that. I'm just going to like apply that under my eyes. Guys, this is so cooling. This is so cooling. And apparently it has like green tea extract in this, which also helps to like depuff and cool the under eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like I'm going to like stretch this outwards, just to kind of shape my eye. Like I said, I was going to go back and shape it. I want my eye to be a little bit more brighter, so I'm going to create that V shape. Okay, so now I'm going to take a beauty blender and I'm just going to blend this out. So now I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and I'm just going to blend this out under my eyes. This is blending out like a dream, guys. It's like giving me no problems. It's just blending out fine. And as you can see, like the coverage is so good. I'm also shaping my eye as well, so where the eyeshadow's gone a little bit crazy, I'm just going in and correcting that. It's definitely brightened my under eye as well. I always recommend to go like a little, like I'd always recommend to go like at least one shade lighter when it comes to concealing your under eyes, because it really does help to kind of brighten your under eyes and make you look a little bit more awake. I've also gone and used like the excess that I still had left on my beauty blender, and I've just applied that to like any like spots or any troubled areas that I have that I want to cover, and it's done that fine. So it is quite dewy, as you can tell. Like it's not like a matte finish, it is quite dewy, so I might have to go back and set that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly finish off my eyeshadow by applying some eyeshadow on my lower lash line. So I'm going to take the shade Sandalwood and Henna, these two shades here, and I'm just going to apply that on my lash line, lower lash line. And now I'm going to take the shade Dollface and Risicue, and I'm going to mix them two together, and I'm going to apply that on top. And that is my eyeshadow finally complete, guys. My eyes are done. I'm just going to do my brows. Now for my brows, I know Huda hasn't released anything for the brows, but I'm going to take my Smoky Obsessions palette, which is this one here, and I'm going to take the shade, I'm going to take this black shade and this brown shade, and I'm going to mix them shades together, and I'm going to just fill in my brows. So I always like to shape the top of my brow first before I go in with the bottom. That's because it's already giving a shape, and I don't like my brows to like droop down if I start from the bottom. So that's why I always like to start from the top and then just kind of shape this a little bit. So to highlight and bronze my face, I'll be taking the Huda Beauty 3D Highlights palette, which is this one, and it's in the Bronze Sands edition. And I'm going to take the shade Aruba, which is this bronzy shade here. I'm going to take my Yachio Kabuki brush by NARS, and I'm just going to apply this to my... So I'm just going to apply this where I'd usually bronze my face. Okay, so now that is done, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. So I'm going to take it in the shade Cinnamon Bun. I haven't used this either, so this is the first time I'm going to use it. And with this, I'm just going to bake. So this is what it looks like when it comes out. It's really cute. I love the packaging for this. So this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to bake where I bronze my face, just to give it a little bit of a contouring effect. And I think with this, you have to open this bit over here to let out the powder. Whoa, that flew everywhere. So it comes like this. It's like a little sheet where it will stop the product from like coming out a little bit too much. Okay, so I'm just going to bake in the areas where I have tried to bronze my face, and let's see what this does, because well, I want my bronzer to last the whole day, and I feel like every time I apply bronzer it just comes off. So now I'm going to try this technique by Huda herself, and I'm just going to bake. Okay, so I didn't buy the Huda Beauty baking powder to kind of bake my under eyes, because if I'm honest with you guys, when I tried it on, it did give me flashback, and I don't know, it's probably because the colours just didn't match my skin tone, or I just wasn't probably using it right, or I probably baked my face for too long. But considering it gave me flashback, it kind of put me off, and I didn't really want to review it. So I didn't really want to review something that didn't work for me. I'd rather review things that I feel like I can work with. And with that powder, I think it's really nice. And I have bought a powder, but I'm just going to use that to kind of bake my contour bronzer kind of situation. So now that my bronzer slash contour is baking, I'm going to apply some highlight and some blusher to my face. So for blusher, I'm going to take the shade Bora Bora from the Bronze Sands Edition highlight palette. So I'm just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks. And I'm going to take this a little bit higher, just to bring some dimension to my face. So next, I'm going to go in with the shade Maldives from this palette, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to apply that to the high points of my face and where the sunlight would naturally hit. So I always like to apply some highlight just above my brows here. Just down the bridge of my nose just a little bit. And then my cupid's bow, my chin, my jawline, and just my jawline here. And yes, I think that's completed. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the powder. So I'm going to take off my setting powder off my bronzing area. I'm just going to kind of like flick it off. I'm just going to blend everything together so it doesn't look harsh. And I'm really happy with the way it looks. It looks really nice. I do like the way it's blended. I like how it sets everything in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more of this full filter foundation. I'm just going to apply it to the back of my hand, like just a little bit. Like that's all I need. I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm kind of just going to correct where the bronzer I feel like has gone a little bit too low. So you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm going to take my buffer brush and I'm just going to buff this out into my skin just to remove this harsh line over here. I'm just going to take my Kabuki brush and just blend it out a little bit more so I'm removing that harsh line. But what I have done is I have kind of like chiseled my cheekbones a little bit and I have brought this area out so it's kind of just like given some shape to my face. Okay, so I am nearly done, guys, bear with me. I'm just going to finish off with my lips now. So I am going to take the lip contour by Huda Beauty and this is in the shade Trendsetter. So this is what it looks like. So it's always good to use a lip liner underneath your lipstick or whatever you're going to put on your lips, because it always helps to keep your lipstick on a little bit longer. So now I'm going to take the shade Day Slayer from the Huda Beauty Demi Matte collection, and I'm just going to apply that to my lips. So it's just a really nice shade to kind of neutralize your overall look. I personally am happy with how this look turned out, and if I'm honest with you guys, I definitely will be using all of these products again. I was a little bit iffy with the foundation itself because I just thought, I've heard a lot about it and I did try it on once and it just didn't work for me because I just thought it was too cakey. But now going in with it again and just mixing it up with some primer, it really has worked for me. It doesn't look too much, it doesn't look too full out. I would still only use this if I was going to a special occasion, a wedding or something. Then this would be like a perfect kind of look or a perfect foundation to reach for, because it does make your skin look like you've used like a filter or something and it's just naturally there. So it does look like you are wearing something, but it does look quite nice and glam. So I definitely will be reaching out for this for special occasions. As for the eyelashes, I actually really like this. I definitely will be buying these again. I do have 2 pairs of them. So with Huda Beauty's lashes, if you take care of them, you can use them for up to like 23 uses or 30, I'm not sure, but they do last quite a long time. So I actually really do like these. They're a little bit more experimental than what I would usually go for, which is usually the Samantha lashes. So I mean, they are quite pretty. I would definitely go for these again. They're not like too much out of my comfort zone, but they do really lift your eyes and kind of make you look a little bit more glam is the word. So I actually am happy with the overall look and the way this makeup has turned out. Some of these items, it's the first time that I'm actually using them, so it's not like I'm kind of saying that like all of this is like brilliant, because I haven't really tried them out for a while now. It's just been me trying this on with you guys for the first time, and it's how I feel now. It's not like how I'll feel in a few weeks or months time. So if there is any changes, I will definitely be coming back to you guys and feeding back to you guys with how I feel about certain products. But yeah, so overall for now and for my first impressions, I don't feel like I have an issue with any of the items. Like, I hope you guys have enjoyed creating this look with me, and if you did, then please press the like button, and if you want to see more videos from me, then please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below with anything that you feel like you want me to do a review for. And also follow me on my social media, because usually I put up a lot of polls and stuff on there to kind of ask you guys what you'd like to see from me next, or any questions or anything in general that you'd like to know about me, or just anything really. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, and thanks for watching guys. Bye.